Welcome to the Winter Palace Part 2. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about each room and what they represent, go over the descriptions, and a little bit of information about the palace. The palace is literally larger than the eye can see. You must first look at it from afar from the opposite bank of the Neva, then come closer, cross the bridge and the small garden near the Admiralty, and pause. Palace Square to ponder on the new features that were revealed to you as your angle of vision shifted. The green walls make a striking background for the white columns, platebands, cupids, stucco mask scrolls, and the statues and vases on the roof. There are so many of them that at first glance you feel it would be futile to find some logic in all the embossment. But you need only walk around the palace and look closely, as it too realizes there is in fact a clear and precise pattern to it. The spaces between the window have decorative columns placed one on top of the other, and the twin columns in the central parts of the risottos. The rhythm is thereby accelerated, and when you look down, the facade, the row of white double deck columns, seems infinite. We have seen the Winter Palace, which is superb, plenty of jasper, malachite, and gold. Russian paintings remind me of a Parko, the same intonation, the same taste, sweetness, and harmony, and our own colors and grace in the composition. The overall look of the building is a unique graticity. The staircase and many other rooms are supported by granite columns, one piece, and apparently 20 to 25 feet tall. Everywhere is rich mosaic, marble floors, jasper of all colors, and elegant glasses of thousands of shapes and sizes. Porphyry, bronze, porcelain, alabaster, lapis lazuli, and malachite. The Winter Palace was official residence of the Russian monarchs from 1732 to 1917, located in St. Petersburg. The green and white palace has the shape of an elliptic rectangle, and its principal facade is 250 meters or 820 feet long and 30 meters or 98 feet high. The Winter Palace has 60,000 square meters of floor space. The palace is a marvel of architecture and boasts 1786 doors, 1945 windows, and 1,057 elegant and lavish decorated halls and rooms, many of which are open to the public today. The palace was constructed on a monumental scale that was intended to reflect the mighty and power imperial of Russia. From the palace, the Tsar ruled over 400,000 square kilometers, and almost one-sixth of the Earth's landmass, and over 125 million subjects by the end of the 19th century. As the formal home of the Russian Tsars, the palace was a setting for profuse, frequent, and lavish entertaining. The dining table could seat 1,000 guests, while the staterooms could contain up to 10,000 people, all standing as no chairs were provided. The palace's rooms, halls, and galleries were heated to such a temperature that while it was sub-zero outside, exotic plants bloomed within, while the brilliant lighting gave the ambience of a summer's day. The ground floor contained mostly bureaucratic and domestic offices, while the second floor was given over to apartments for senior quarters and high-ranking officials. The principal rooms and living quarters for the imperial family are on the first floor, the piano noble, access to the private rooms for members of the imperial family. From the exterior was usually through the Saltykov entrance, which was reserved for use only by Tsar, Tsartsa, and Grand Dukes and Grand Duchesses. The principal or Jordan staircase of the Winter Palace is so called on the feast of Epiphany. The Tsar descended this imperial staircase in state ceremony or blessing of the waters on the Neva River, a celebration of Christ's baptism of the Jordan River. The staircase is one of the few parts of the palace retaining the original 18th century style. A massive great granite columns, however, were added in the mid-19th century. And I love this picture here of the cat. That's one of my favorite paintings that I saw in the palace. And with the description of the Jordan staircase, I found it very interesting as I'm going to Jordan in September here in about a month, and I am getting baptized in the Jordan River. So I just wanted to point that out, and I found that is a very interesting fact. I loved this figurine. It was a story of true friendship between a girl and a dolphin. As the girl, if I remember correctly, if the girl was dying and the dolphin laid there with her and they both died together. But I love that figurine and the story behind it. And then continuing on, these are just paintings throughout the Winter Palace. This is the beginning inside of the Knight's Room at the Winter Palace.
Опять и опять попытаюсь расставить все точки, попытаюсь понять или даже принять заморочки. 505, 505, расставался с тобой я тысяч, но опять и опять попытаюсь на сердце я высечь. Имя любимое мое, твое имена, имя любимое мое, и непобедимая, любовь моя, моя имена, имя любимое твое.
А может быть, забудем все и сбежим? У нас одна любовь и одна только жизнь. А может быть, забудем все и сбежим навсегда. Забуду имя, любимое мое, твое имя, любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имя, любимое твое, мое любимое имя, любимое мое, твое имя, любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, мое имя, любимое твое, мое любимое.
И опять попытаюсь расставить все точки, попытаюсь понять или даже принять заморочки. 505, расставаться с тобой я тысяч, но опять и опять попытаюсь на сердце я высечь.
Имя, любимое мое, твое имя, любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имя, любимое твое, мое любимое имя, любимое мое, твое имя, любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имя, любимое твое, мое любимое. А может быть, забудем все и сбежим? У нас одна любовь и одна только жизнь. А может быть, забудем все и сбежим навсегда. Забуду имя, любимое мое, твое имя, любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имя, любимое твое, мое любимое имя, любимое мое.
This is the Egyptian Hall, and this is towards the end of our tour at the Winter Palace.
Любовь моя, мое имя, любимое твое, мое любимое.
Именно мое, именно мое, именно мое, именно мое, именно именно мое, именно мое, именно мое, именно мое, именно именно мое, именно мое, именно мое.
А может быть, забудем все и сбежим? У нас одна любовь и одна только жизнь.
So this was a traditional lunch at, it's actually called Cafe Del Mar in Nevsky. I was trying to locate the website, but I've only been able to find a Facebook page for them, and I'll try to get that linked below. But this was one of my favorite places for lunch. It just had a really good atmosphere, very good vibe. The food was absolutely amazing. And then we had tea. It's a Russia tradition to have tea with your lunch or dinner. So we had that as well. And it's like a cheese pizza here, and it was so good. Just everything we had was absolutely delicious. So I will link that description below, and you guys can check it out if you're ever in St. Petersburg. I highly recommend this restaurant. It was very good.
Расставаться с тобой я тысяч, но опять и опять попытаюсь на сердце я высечь.
Имя любимое мое, твое имя, имя любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имена, имя любимое твое, мое любимое, имя любимое мое, твое имена, имя любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имена, имя любимое твое, мое любимое. А может быть забудем все и сбежим? У нас одна любовь и одна только жизнь. А может быть забудем все и сбежим навсегда. Забуду имя любимое мое, твое имена, имя любимое мое, и непобедимая любовь моя, моя имена, имя любимое твое, мое любимое, имя любимое мое, твое имена, имя любимое мое, и непобедимая.
Our Russian language lesson for the day. So after lunch, we were supposed to go back to the Winter Palace for an afternoon tour for the remaining. But a couple of the girls of their faith wanted to go to the synagogue here in Russia, so we opted to do that with them. This was the Grand Kirill Synagogue. It's actually the second largest in Europe. And it's a burial place for many of the historical figures such as Mark Antwosky, David Ginsburg, which is an art lover of the Jewish community. We were able to go inside. And then they also have like a western wall outside.
А может быть забудем все и сбежим? У нас одна любовь и одна только жизнь. А может забудем все и сбежим навсегда, навсегда. Забуду моя любимая, моя
Опять попытаюсь расставить все точки, попытаюсь понять или даже принять заморочки. Расставаться с тобой я тысяч, но опять попытаюсь на сердце я тысяч.